brought that up.
Yeah, I bet you do. Why are these only
Go for
8.5 by 11?
Go for it, buddy.
She does that to make Bob mad.
Yes.
This could be a new record.
All right, can everybody hear me? I will call the Planning and Zoning Board for June 8th, 2022 to order. Before we begin, I'd like to ask everybody, please turn your cell phones to silent or vibrate. Can we get a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Chairman Kennedy?
Here.
Mr. Duane?
Here.
Mr. Andrikovics?
Here.
Mr. Amalfitano?
Here.
Mr. Wright?
Here.
And Mr. Rainbird?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is there's no approval of minutes this week, this month. There's no old business. We're going to move right into new business. First item under new business is SD 2202. Cody Bogart is requesting preliminary plat approval for Edgewater Preserve Phase 1. Can we get a staff report, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chairman. This is preliminary plat approval for the Edgewater Preserve Phase 1, located west of Volco Road, south of Florida Shores, approximately 46 acres. As I mentioned, it's Phase 1. This will be 84 units. Currently, it's vacant. Future land use, low-density residential with conservation overlay, and the zoning is RPUD. This property was annexed into the city in 2001 as part of the original Edgewater Lakes development. This portion was going to be Phase 2. At one point, they were proposing a golf course, I do believe, in there, and it permitted 399 dwelling units. In 2004, that Edgewater Lakes PUD agreement was amended and omitted any and all development rights for Phase 2. Subsequently, the zoning designation then changed to Edgewater Preserve RPUD and encompasses a total of 292.5 acres. This PUD agreement was approved by City Council in March of 2019 and allows a maximum of 774 dwelling units. As mentioned, this first phase consists of 84 single-family lots on the 46.38 plus or minus acres, and the development of the subject property is consistent with that approved PUD.
Okay, I will open the public hearing and ask if there are any questions or comments. We just need you to come forward and give us your name and your address, please.
I'm Robert Clinton. I live off of Volco Road on Liza Clinton Road. And there's a couple of things about this that kind of scares me. The entrance on Volco Road is right at one of the biggest curves in the road, where the speed limit's 40 miles an hour. I've never seen anybody do 40 miles an hour. The second thing that scares me is if they do come off onto Volco Road, they're going to be crossing US 1 at Volco, where we have almost an accident a week. And the reason we have accidents there is we are now getting a lot of people from Florida Shores exiting that way. And when you're 4, 5, 6 cars deep waiting to cross US 1 with the traffic like it is, you get impatient. And people are darting out in front of oncoming traffic, and there's been some bad wrecks there. Third problem I have with it is y'all keep referring to it as Edgewater Preserve. The sign out front no longer says that. It says the parks at Edgewater. So y'all need to change your records or something.
It's still legally listed as Edgewater Preserve, correct? Right. So that's just a legal designation. That's what we have about that.
Because the sign out front has a totally different name.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from the public? Board, questions or comments?
I have a question, Darren. You had mentioned it states the fact that the first phase consists of 84 single-family lots, and I see numbers up to 93 on the plat.
Did I miss that?
84
Cody, do you have?
84 to 93.
Okay. Yep. I
So
saw the 84.
What's correct?
93.
93 is correct. Okay. And the discussion regarding the traffic problem on US 1 in Volco. Did we not discuss a traffic signal there back when?
Yeah, they've been meeting with Volusia County over this because this is a Volusia County roadway, Volco Road. And there are many steps they have to follow. You should see the development order they got regarding the traffic. And the transportation improvements they're gonna have to make over a period of time.
But I know that was a very heated discussion that evening, and that was
Mhm.
brought up that they said that's where they were going, that's the direction they were going to take. And I just wanted to make sure that in fact is still the direction they're going to take.
Correct.
Robert Clinton again. I talked to DOT. They have no plans to put in a traffic light there. I asked them about a traffic light where the flashing light is in Oak Hill.
Mhm.
And they said it's a 10-year process to put one in, and we've been trying to get one for over 20 years now. They,
And isn't that US one? Doesn't
Yeah,
the
it's US
federal
one,
government
state.
have say with that?
it's DOT
Volusia County
maintained.
does as well. And they, Cody's had meetings with him, he can talk to you about it. Talk, Cody?
You want to address that for us, Cody, please, just for the record?
Sir, good evening. I'm Cody Bogart from Newkirk Engineering. Darren is right. We had extensive negotiations and permitting, and especially the way the county and city did it is, we have to do a right-of-way use permit every time we tie into Volco. So for phase 1 and 2, we just tie in one time for this west side. What they did was give the city back the power to enforce these improvements at certain thresholds of units that are built or COs that are awarded. To where the city will have the power to say, hey, you can't build any more houses. These improvements have to be done. The good thing is now that Lennar is involved, a large developer with a lot of capital, they're able to push these improvements through. So you will see a signal warrant analysis, which is saying after this many lots, a signal will be needed at US 1 and Volco. That hasn't been submitted to the FDOT yet, but it's in the process of getting drafted and reviewed and obviously submitted for their review. The reason DOT says it's 10 years out is because that's on their schedule with their budget and their significance of improvements that they want to see around the state. So developments like this drive improvements like that at signals before the state can get to it with their money. It also saves taxpayers money when the developer has to do it. But you'll see an added left turn lane and a possible reconfiguration at 35th and Volco, which is also a pretty dangerous turn coming over the railroad tracks. We're in a couple of preliminary designs with the county and the city to improve that curve as a safer turn onto Volco and also improve the crossing. So you may see a left turn lane, or you will see a left turn lane going onto 35th into Florida Shores, and you'll see some type of a spacing happen with the railroad crossing to hopefully provide a safer transition. And then also with phase 1, as right now you see all the clearing going on and the construction on site. Soon you'll start seeing Volco Road begin to widen and super elevate. So it'll be a safer turn for the speed limit that's marked that people just fly right by, and everyone knows that. So we are improving drastically the safety along Volco Road per the county and now per the city's development order.
So Volco Road will be redesigned?
Yes, sir. Yes, this curve along the section has already been redesigned, and it will be constructed here, I think, starting this year, and you'll start seeing cones and maintenance of traffic flag guys getting set up. So hopefully they do a good job and it stays safe throughout construction. Then as the phases stretch up to the north towards Volco, you'll see more turn lanes. You'll see the road actually be widened to 12 lanes each and with shoulders and proper drainage on the sides.
How many lanes?
12 feet lanes. So right now it's a in the rules of the county, it's a substandard road. We're bringing it back to standard, current standards now.
And so in your estimation, this traffic light will be there someday?
I would say within 3 years, 5 years, if it stays on pace.
Okay.
You're banking the roads?
Excuse me?
You're banking the roads?
This curve will be super elevated banked. We actually went through, at first it was going to be a huge 10%, kind of like LPGA is, and that's a big nasty curve. But we did get it.
NASCAR?
Yeah, exactly. We know it goes fast here. This road was built a long time ago when it's nowhere close to standard. So we did our best job with the county to bring it up to standards and make it a safer passageway. And that'll be happening this year.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
You mentioned the road was built substandard. My ancestors built that road, and for a little bit of history, the name Volco is the abbreviation for Volusia County, because they told them with the marsh that goes through there, there's no way it would support a road. So my great-grandfather proved them wrong.
Thank you. Board comments or questions? All right, I'll close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion to send a favorable recommendation to City Council for SD 2202.
Second, Rainbird.
Thank you. Roll call, Chairman Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne,
Yes.
Mr. Anderkovics,
Yes.
Mr. Amalfitano,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mr. Rainbird.
Yes.
Thank you.
Excuse me, Sue, will that correction of the number of homes be corrected?
Yeah,
94.
that'd be correct. before
Okay.
it goes to
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is VA 2213. Brett Rawlison is requesting a variance from Article 5 of the Land Development Code for property located at 1842 Mango Tree Drive. Could we get a staff report, please?
Yes, this is variance request for an existing shed to be expanded and remain 6 feet from the side and rear property line per section 21-50.02, table 5-1 at 1842 Mango Tree Drive. Currently, there's a single-family home, 1,541 square feet, was constructed in 1957 on this property. There is an existing shed in the rear of the property that is also several years old. Applicant is requesting to update and expand the existing shed on the rear of the structure, maintaining the existing 6 feet from the side and rear property line. And the reason that it's coming before you is because it's bigger than the 200 square feet where you're allowed to be 5 feet from the property line when it gets expanded. So that's why it's in front of you.
Okay, thank you. I will open the public hearing and ask if there are any comments or questions. Board comments or questions?
Are they putting like a cement pad down or anything, or did they just, do you know that? Is it just gonna be a freestanding shed?
Not real sure.
Any other questions? Okay, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion to approve VA 2231. 13. I'm sorry, 2213.
Second, Rainbird.
Roll call, Chairman Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne,
Yes.
Mr. Anderkovics,
Yes.
Mr. Amalfitano,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mr. Rainbird.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is VA 2214. Joel Ayala is requesting a variance for property located at 208 South Park Place. Can we get a staff report, please?
Yes, as you mentioned, the property is at 208 South Park Place, just a little south of us. Variance requests are from section 21-50.02, table 5-1, to allow a new detached garage to be 6 feet from the property line in lieu of the required 10 feet. Allow a 25-foot setback in lieu of the required 30 from the property line along South Park Place for a new single-family home. Allow a 15-foot setback in lieu of the required 30 feet along East Palmway for said single-family home. The area is approximately 0.32 acres. Currently, there is a single-family residence of 1,244 square feet. Was constructed in 1941. The applicant is proposing to demolish the existing house and construct a larger single-family home with detached garage. So you'll notice the survey in front of you is the existing home, and then this would be the proposal.
Okay,
Staff
thank you.
recommends approval.
I will open the public hearing. I will begin by stating, for the record, that John and Susan Graney, who are the property owners at 204 South Park Place, they share a common property line with this property, and they are strongly urging us to grant the variance because the place has been severely neglected over a course of years, and they're happy that somebody's actually doing something with the property to make it look better. So, any comments or questions from the public? Board comments or questions?
Any improvement is good.
Happy neighbors and good neighbors.
Okay, I will close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion to approve VA 2214.
Second, Rainbird.
Thank you. Roll call, Chairman Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne,
Yes.
Mr. Anderkovics,
Yes.
Mr. Amalfitano,
Yes.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
and Mr. Rainbird.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on the agenda is board appointment. Recommendation to city council to, due to the expired term of Robert Andrikovics, who is seeking reappointment. Do we need a staff report for this?
Staff recommends approval.
Board comments or questions? Okay, I will, close, do we need to do a motion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So I will close the hearing and ask for a motion.
Make a motion to, reinstate?
Send a favorable recommendation to city council.
Send a favorable recommendation to city council for approval of Mr. Andriykovic's renewal.
Second Rainbird.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, Chairman Kennedy.
Yes.
Mr. Dwayne.
Yes.
Mr. Anderkovitz.
Yes.
Mr. Amalfitano.
Yes.
Mr. Wright.
Yes.
And Mr. Rainbird.
Yes.
Thank you.
You didn't read your letter to us?
Huh? You like that?
Okay, next on my agenda is, the Development Services Director's Report.
The only thing I have is that member Bert Baroni will no longer be on the board with us. His term expired and he asked to not be reappointed, so we will be looking for another member.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
Interesting.
When it heats up, get out of the kitchen.
Okay,
That's all I have.
all right, if that's all, then we will adjourn. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna get
First set of applications. I mean, if you know anybody, tell them put applications in.
Oh, easy.
You don't need to hurt yourself.
I don't know if you can't even sit down. I don't know if we
Hey,
could.
what do you know? The cameras all of a sudden went off. What?